Hey guys, I'm the Dr. Pepper guy, and today we are going to be talking about Marvel's Avengers, which is the gameplay has been shown in Gamescom, and so it's also been revealed to the public. Finally, I do wish that they showed this to us before, and it's been a purely chaotic week. I know I'm late to the party, but I have to, you know, to give my thoughts on it, and I hope you sit down with me, listen to my dumbass thoughts, and see what you think of it. So yeah, let's just get down to it right now. So first of all is the graphics, right? Like Crystal Dynamics did imply that the game is still undergoing certain, certain improvements. They still are working on on certain things, which really, strengthened my faith after looking, after I feel like this game is lacking some polish after looking at the trailer that was shown in E3. And first of all, let's talk about the graphical improvement, right? I do feel like yes, there has been a bit of an update. Like for example, Captain America's suit in the E3 trailer. I just didn't like how his suit looked. I feel like his colors look dry, and just the shoulder patches. I feel like it didn't look very good. But now the Gamescom trailer hit in, and we got another look at it. The colors look more vibrant to me, and I feel like the white and red added more to this suit, and I feel like it really complements the look of the suit and it gave it an overall cleaner aesthetic. And like I said, more vibrant colors. That's a win, right? And Iron Man's suit, it looks pretty clean on this one, and I like how it looks. I feel like it's hard to fuck up Iron Man's suit, to be honest. So there's that. And Black Widow improved too. And next is Thor. Uh, his beard looks horrible in my opinion from what I've seen from Comic Con, and what I've seen in the E3 trailer. His beard looks sort of bad, and in Gamescom it's an improvement. His beard looks fine, and I feel like the game overall looks more visually pleasing to the eyes. The visually pleasing to the eyes part, maybe it's because I've grown accustomed to how the game looks, because I was really like I was like whoa, take a step. I took a step back after looking at the trailer shown at E3. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's because it's got updated. But still, I cannot wait to look at the final product. So that's the graphical part of it. Graphics part I want to talk about. Now let's go to the gameplay. Right. First off, let's start off with Thor. So Thor with the hammer, he looks. I mean, pretty much it's a God of War styles combat from what I've seen, and it's pretty clear. Like him hitting with the hammer, you throw it, and then it's hand-to-hand combat when you throw the hammer. And I feel like Thor with the hammer, it feels powerful. Whacking around enemies with the hammer, it looks fun. It feels powerful as well, and I feel like the weight in that, it's good. I'm not saying it's amazing or it feels so right like the Leviathan Axe in God of War, but it still looks good. So without the hammer is the main problem I have with Thor in general, right? It just feels weak and off, and I feel like this way with all the characters that it's just like that. I didn't feel like it needs more weight. It needs to have more impact every blow I give. The sound effect also feels off. It doesn't feel right. I know, it's a tutorial section, they'll improve on it, but still, this is gameplay they show to the public in order to sell people, in order to make people excited, to make them be like, okay, to make them consider purchasing or pre-ordering this game. That's what a gameplay demo is supposed to do. And to just be like, it'll get polished, it's not the final product, it's kind of a dumb reason, in my opinion, right? Sure, it can undergo improvements, and for the most part, the thoughts I have on this gameplay are positive, don't get me wrong, but I feel like the flaws on the other part, when I look at the long term, when I look at the long stretch of the game, which I'm probably going to be playing, that makes me worried, and I just don't want the game to like the game's combat to feel generic and repetitive. Sure, it might get better, but there's a possibility that it might not get better, and that just worries me. And this gameplay demo also, the way it feels worries me too. Like you get what I mean, right? So there's that, and I feel like this way with all the characters except for Hulk. Hulk and Captain America, except for those two characters, and Thor with the hammer. I feel a certain way with all the characters, right? And then there's Iron Man. So you have a little flight segment there. I'm not down for that. I just don't really like that, and I feel like it'll get repetitive later. I might be wrong, but so far I just don't like segments like that. But Iron Man, the animations and all with all the characters, like it looks cool, and I feel like it's pretty much like if you mass square, it's going to be one certain combo, but then you'll have all these abilities. You'll have like I said, all these abilities and all these perks and all these other things which add to the combat, so you can mix and match them. Like with Spider-Man, right? You keep on pressing triangle, like sorry, not triangle. You keep on pressing square. You have a certain type of combo, but then there's holding square for an air launch, fighting in the air, web strike, and all the gadgets, which we mix and match them. It's a not so repetitive combat, right? So I feel like it'll mostly be like that. But except in this, I just don't feel like the weight and the impact is right, and I feel the same way about Iron Man's beams. They just feel a bit off to me. It might get better later when you get more updates. The impact might feel right. Sure, it's still a possibility. So I'm not for that. But still, it was pretty cool looking at how he was shooting his beams and also his unibeam and his missiles. Fuck. Right, so then we're moving to Captain America. I do feel like Captain America is pretty cool. Throwing around the shield, the certain combat animations, and it looks fun. The game in general looks fun, but it also looks like it has the potential to be repetitive and sort of generic. But for the most part, it does look fun, and I feel like I can enjoy a good portion of this game, even if it sucks. I do feel like it will be playable to some extent. If it sucks, that's what I mean, right? So after Captain America, we're going to Hulk, and I feel like Hulk is fun. Like the main point of being Hulk is just destroying and wreaking havoc, right? Being chaotic, just going off. That's the point of Hulk, and I feel like the game sells on that aspect, and I feel like the game excels on this aspect because Hulk looks fun, like breaking is like destroying shit and throwing around enemies like that. It looks fun and it looks great, and that look is honestly it just looks fun. Hulk looks like the most fun character to play as. With all the characters that I've seen, Hulk looks like the most fun because of all the destruction aspect of it, and I feel like they sold that aspect, and yeah, it's good. So thumbs up on that. So last but not least is Black Widow, and I feel like this gameplay made her look interesting, which I feel like this gameplay did a good job of. I feel like the gameplay gets most things right, and I feel like one core thing it should get right, like any other game like this should, is to make all the characters look interesting, to make you enticed to try other characters, and I feel like this demo it does that. It makes all the other characters, even Black Widow, look more interesting. Black Widow, you have her guns, you have her batons, and then camouflage, which is the most interesting thing I've seen, especially with her fight with Taskmaster, and I feel like Taskmaster. Yes, I don't like his design. I prefer Insomniac's design a lot more than this. I'm going to be honest. I do not like this Taskmaster's design, but it just doesn't bother me much, to be honest. It does, but like seriously. But yeah, well, I do feel like some of the animations may look and get repetitive. That's my big worry of it. But overall, the game looks fun. The game looks good, and I have a positive opinion on it. But it's more. I have more worries with it. I'm more worried about the game, sure, but at the same time, I do have positive and good thoughts on it, and I do hope that this game gets a lot more better, and I do hope that the final product will look a lot more improved. And if the final product is a lot more, it's a huge improvement from what we saw in the Gamescom, then I feel like we have a solid game. I'm not gonna lie, I do feel like we're gonna have a solid game if the game, if like the product is going to be so much more polished than what we see in the Gamescom. I still do feel like the game needs a delay, 1 year perhaps. I do feel like it needs like a 1 year delay. And I do feel like it's likely because like some part tells me that yeah, a 1 year delay is likely, but because I'm down for it, because like they'll have more time to polish certain things, and not only that, it's so that they can have more time in general, because crunch is such like a big thing. Naughty Dog has gone through it. Rockstar, crunch stories are not exactly great, and people don't really like employees getting overworked for a game. And the everybody I am like everybody does feel like if people and employees are like us, like, right, sorry, are like us. They're human, right? And they do need fair treatment, and they do need to work fine, like not overwork and work to death, like not grind themselves to death. So that's one aspect of it. So yeah, I do feel like it needs to be delayed, but so far, my thoughts are positive, but not really. It's not like if the game is great or it's amazing, but I do feel like it looks good for the most part. It's not top tier. I don't think it's A tier or S tier. So far, I think it's B tier to be fair, but my thoughts might change on it later. So that's all. That's all I have. Thank you for watching. See ya.